Welcome to another episode of Matt and Jess Coffee Table Chat.
Something like that.
We had to turn the fan on because
Rancid.
one of the dogs farted. It's bad. Making my eyes water. Okay, so what should we start off with?
I want to start off, since it is April 1st, thanking every healthcare worker out there on the front lines, fighting this virus, risking their lives. And I just really appreciate everyone out there and what you're doing. You have not gone unnoticed, and sending you guys love and prayers, and we're going to get through this.
Yeah. Okay. What else do we want to start off with? Well, let's talk about, if we're already talking about the Corona thing. It's been a week more that we've been in quarantine.
Okay, we're not in quarantine because that means we have it. We're just on stay at home. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. We're self-quarantined. I'm quarantined because I am not going out anywhere. I don't
Except
have
the
it.
park. You get out in the park.
Yeah, well, aside from that, but I'm not going out anywhere because I don't want it, because I'm high risk.
Yeah.
So I'm quarantined. But we've essentially we had a stay-at-home order that was put into place
2 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't a week ago. It was last week. It was last Thursday, remember? Because we woke up and we're like, today we're going to go to the mountains. And then we got that alert on our phones, like if you get an Amber Alert type thing. And it was like Colorado's senator or congressman, whatever, enacted the stay-at-home order. And I was just like, oh, what does that mean? So I went on for more information. And for out here, you're still allowed to go out hiking and do outdoor activities. As a matter of fact, they encourage it as long as no more than groups of 4, no bigger groups of 4, and keep your distance from other people. So
6 feet. Yesterday inside our home, I was taking a measuring tape and pulling out 6 feet and telling Matt to stay the fuck away from me. 6 feet.
And then we tried to see if we could even be
in the kitchen and
at the same time, staying 6 feet away from each other.
Oh God.
So we've just come to the conclusion that if one of us gets it, the other one's definitely getting it without fail. So that's kind of what our week has been like. So how's life been aside? How much different has life been than normal?
I would say our life is essentially the same, except Matt usually does the grocery shopping. He always does the grocery shopping, and now I'm doing it. I'm still working.
I like doing the grocery shopping. I got a list. Check it off.
Yeah.
Calculator. Some coupons.
That's fine. I fucking hate.
I work for them coupons.
Grocery shopping.
Coupons. Work me a deal. No, I love grocery shopping. So something else has changed that didn't have to change in the house that we've noticed a lot lately. What are you doing more?
Oh, I'm cooking more. Totally. Usually, I'll cook breakfast. Usually that's my jam. But definitely cooking more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been enjoying it.
All of a sudden, I feel like I'm in a traditionally domesticated household.
Please. I usually do the cleaning. He does the cooking. You like to cook.
I love cooking.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's your thing. And for me, it's more of just do it and get it over with. But now I've just,
But now you're cooking with pizzazz.
I am. What did I make the other day?
I don't know. That's how good it was.
Oh, that hash brown.
Oh, the hash or brunch that you made. Yeah.
Yeah. Off the chain.
So we were all, our whole family's on this side of the family's on a group text chat. And I was telling everybody, I'm like, I'm like, does quarantine have to end? Because not only am I not doing the grocery shopping anymore, but I'm not doing any of the cooking either. Like, this is nice. So let's see, other than that, I mean, my life has pretty much been the same. I work from the home office. That hasn't changed. The only thing is like 2 or 3 times a week, I would like to go work from a Starbucks or work from this awesome library that's right next to us here a block over.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore. But aside from that, life for me really hasn't changed. And life for us really hasn't changed because the whole reason why we moved out to Colorado was to go in the mountains.
Yeah, be outside.
Yeah, be outside, hiking, biking, outdoor stuff, and we can do all of that. So, aside from managing the stress,
I would say definitely that's the one thing. It's managing the stress of what's going on. Pretty much everything else has stayed the same.
Yeah. So the stress, I think we talked about this last week too. So the stress is coming from obviously the coronavirus and her work.
Yeah, for me, I would say this week is definitely a lot better, but the last 2 weeks, I would say it's been a roller coaster ride for me because I am less than an arm lengths away of scanning these patients, and a lack of PPE and just the thought of bringing it home and just the unknowns of all that. It's kind of been scary. And I guess, just working through that, doing lots of meditation.
So talk about
breath work.
So talk about so let's just be real here. How bad has the stress gotten?
Let's be real. It's been really bad. I think it has created a lot of triggers for me, triggers like this has created, like, I usually don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what people think or do or whatever. Like, you vote for this person or you want to date this person or all that stuff.
Or you have a differing opinion.
Like, I don't care. Like, I'm doing my own thing over here, but this has created a lot of stuff like, getting pissed off because people got to homeschool their kids. It's just like, usually I wouldn't care about that, but they're complaining that they got to homeschool their kids. But I just want to say, like, you're at home safe with your family. You're not having to go out and risk your life, So, like, that's created a lot of triggers with me and learning how to understand, really dive deep, right? Like, whenever stuff comes up, it's triggering. It's there for a reason to teach you something. And really, it's showing me I need to not feel like I'm in control of everything. Like, I'm trying to control everything and I can't. I really can't. I need to let go and release because I can't control what this person says or this person does, or the fact there's a shortage of protective medical equipment or what I have to go and do. Like, I can't control that. So that, once I dove deep and realized that, I'm definitely managing my stress so much better. Told Matt I did a 150 yesterday.
She meant to say 180.
180, yeah.
No, first you said I did a complete 360.
360, yeah.
And I was like, that means you didn't do dick.
Yeah, right. So I would say these last 2 weeks definitely roller coaster ride for me in regards to stress. And definitely this week has been so much better, So that's really the thing that has changed the most for us.
Yeah. So what have you share some of the things that you've been doing to kind of help manage to reduce your stress level?
Yeah.
Because this week compared to last week was a huge difference.
So I've been really diving into breath work, and I found this woman, one of the groups I'm in, she actually does breath work and sound baths. And it's a way to move your breath through your body so it releases energy. And it's about at least 40 minutes long. And so it's like breath work and meditation all impacted into one. And that has been really helpful for me. Just when I get finished with it, I feel like a new person. It's just so wonderful. So I do a lot of that.
Is that something that we could share, or do you have to be part of a group or something?
We can put it in the notes. It's on Instagram.
Okay.
Can't think of her name on top of my head. So that meditation, I'm doing tons of that.
Identifying the triggers.
Yeah. That and just different mantras that I repeat. That helps me.
I will not kill my husband. I will not kill my husband. I will not kill my husband. No. I mean, because it has that stress that comes home, and
it does.
I'm an empath, so all of a sudden I'm feeling stress and I don't know why, but I'm feeling stress from you. And then, it causes some tension, bickering and whatnot. So we had to.
And two, like, I think when a lot of us are probably experiencing stress right now in their life, and when those triggers come up, it's not something to go bury your head in the sand and be like, run away from that. It's okay. Face that, sit with that, and just understand, why is that coming up for you, And, like they say, the only way to get past it is actually go through it,
Yeah. What was that you said today? 100% of.
So I just realizing, like, everything that's going on and just the uncertainty and the stress. It's like, you know what? I've survived all 100% of my worst days. So I know we'll get through this.
Yeah.
I'll get through this.
Yeah. I thought that was really good. I've survived 100% of my worst days. So everybody can think of a time in their life. Well, I'm sure most people can, when it's been worse than this in one way or another. Yeah. And you survived, you're still here. So I thought that was pretty cool. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So for me, there's been some shifting with strategy and whatnot. I'm kind of on this bender to help small businesses, the ones that are struggling the most now. So I've been spending a lot of time putting together a network of experts and people in their field that are willing to give away a lot of free training value and content. So that way the businesses that need it the most now can benefit from it. Because the businesses that don't need it, and that can pay for it, they can get it some other time. But right now, the businesses that are having hard times, that would have had been a stretch to pay for my consulting or our services from the company or whatnot. I'm doing a lot to provide free stuff by them by way of webinars. And so it gave me the idea of creating the consulting initiative. So I bought the domain, consultinginitiative.com. It's not live yet, but it will be in a couple of weeks. And essentially it's an initiative to bring together people that have a ton of experience, a ton of value in their fields and I'm kind of twisting their arm and saying, hey, let's put a webinar together, an hour long, that is a training session, not a pitch fest, but a training session. Something you like, what are the top 5 things that this particular business owner or entrepreneur could do right now, so to help their business now or to help whenever we get out of this whole thing.
So it's just bringing a lot of value.
Yeah, a ton of value. And then I'm allowing them to offer something for sale at the end of the webinar, but it has to be drastically discounted by 50% or more. And so everybody's been great I have 6 now. 6. We just counted the other day. Or I have 5, including myself as 6. I have 5 other experts. And I was really happy. I have, I'm not going to release his name. So I have an NFL player also that is now a public speaker and motivational speaker. He's going to be part of this too. So it's pretty cool. I've realized this has forced me to realize my, I guess, I don't know, gift or part of my genius, to where I'm a lot better promoting and talking about other people's things than I am my own. And then on top of that, I'm really good, because if you're into human design, I'm a projector. So I'm really good at seeing where people fit and understanding them and their gifts and their skills and saying, oh, you'd be perfect for this. And then I'm using the network that I've built up over the past couple of years. And I'm pulling all of this together to help businesses. And then on the other side of this, it will end up being I'm sure that it's going to be financially, beneficial down the road when things, come back together for me, but I'm not worried about that now. So that's what I've been focusing on a lot of my time aside from the regular client work. But as far as everyday life goes, I'm just thankful that we can still go outside and do that stuff. Because if
They
that,
haven't taken that from us.
yeah, because if we could have done that, then this would probably be a much different show.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just curious to see what you guys are all doing. How are you handling your stress? What are you guys doing? So comment below. I'm curious to see, hear your ideas and.
Yeah, and if any of this has helped you, our suggestions, what we're going through, the whole intent to this is just to show, just to be real, now with everything's going, this is in our lifetime, and in probably many, I'll be 41 in 28 days. Oh, wow. And so in most people's lifetime, they've never experienced anything like this, where the whole world is dealing with the same thing. And so, I just really we feel that it's time, it's a better time, no better time than any to just put out some just real, like raw ass shit out there. And I know that our life isn't perfect, but to some people, they're probably like, boy, that's a pretty good life, but it's not, it hasn't always been. And last week we said we were going to talk a little bit about communication.
Yes, we were.
And I think that is like, it's a huge key, especially now, because if something's bothering me or something's bothering her, like, you gotta learn how to communicate. And communicating doesn't mean, for some of you out there, communicating doesn't mean like shutting up and walking away until nobody wants to deal with it anymore. And then, well, he knows how I feel, or she knows how I feel, and we're just not going to talk. That's not communicating. Communication can be different for a lot of people. So what's communication like for us? I guess we'll back up again and touch briefly that in 2018, we almost got a divorce?
Yeah.
So it was in 2018, we almost got a divorce. We were going through some not bad financial times, honestly. All of our bills have always been paid, but we just weren't able to live the life that we were used to in Jacksonville, and also being newly married. And that was putting a lot of stress on the relationship.
Yeah. I think too, because we went to therapy. I went to therapy during all this. And, it was, my therapist said, and it was like, wow, when you're single or doing your own thing, you don't ever really have someone to bounce that, the way you act or how you talk or anything off of someone. You just think, well, I'm always right, And then when you're in a relationship, so you have two completely different people coming together and trying to work together, and then you're getting, like someone that's bouncing off of you. Like when I talk, it's bouncing off, and it's just like
you're suddenly getting another perspective.
And it's like, oh, okay. And so it's totally like been such a learning and growing experience. In so many ways.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. So, and just for those of you out there, so how long did I buck going to therapy?
A while. Because I started going before he did.
Yeah. And so I was like, what did I say about people who had to go to therapy?
There's something that if you go to therapy, there's something wrong with you, because you should be able to fix it yourself.
Yeah, because you're weak. Yeah. I'd say weak people go to therapy.
And my thing was like, well, if you want to lose weight or whatever, you're going to get a personal trainer. If you want to do this, you always go to an expert, because that's what they know. So for me, I was like, this is something that I am not dealing well with. I need professional help.
So we decided to go to therapy with it before going through with the divorce. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I was, some people are like, oh, Matt, you're just such a nice guy. You probably just like loved your wife and was like, let's do this and make it work. And that's not the truth at all. I was a major asshole. I was a total asshole, absolute asshole. And I would attack you for going to therapy, saying that you didn't have, you didn't have faith in us, you didn't have trust in us, all this other stuff. So it was, we're not trying to air all of our dirty laundry out there, but
we're just keeping it real, folks.
And I know for a fact that we are not the only married couple that has gone through this. And if you're saying that you've never gone through this, the two things are going to happen. Number one, you're lying and you're going to hell. Or number two,
you're going to hell. Oh, come on.
No. Or number two, you just haven't been married long enough. That's it. So, the person that you see now, the Matt Aponte that you see now, is so much more elevated, we'll see, and mature than the person that was back then. I was very narrow-minded and focused on my success and the business and the success of my business and achieving what I set out to do 10 years prior. And if Jessica didn't want to fully support me, which she was trying to, but she was having a hard time because I had to restart the business when we moved out here from scratch, essentially, because I lost all but one of my clients when we moved out here. So that put a financial strain on us, and then moving to a new place, and then moving to a place with that's more expensive. And we were able to make things happen. We were never behind on our bills, but we were only able to get X amount of groceries, and we weren't able to go out to dinner with the family when they were going out. We weren't able to do these extra things, and that caused major stress on our marriage because we weren't used to that. And so, I was just like, well, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. And I'm not going to go get a job because, weak people quit and all this other stuff. Right. So I'm just bringing that up because I think, it's easy for us to sit here and be like, oh yeah, we almost got divorced and now we're doing good. And some people are like, oh, I'm sure it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. It was very, very bad. And we are where we're at now because I surrendered. I put my ass in check and said, fine, I'll do this just to prove you wrong or just to shut you up. That's the reason why I did it. I'll do this. I'll look for a part-time job to supplement my income, to shut you and your family up. I'll go to therapy to shut you up. That's literally the words out of my mouth. But it was the best decision I made, even though the intentions at first weren't right. And so, sometimes making a decision, whatever the intentions are behind you, as long as the decision is made, at least it's something to get you going. At least that was in our experience. And it was just over time. And then, learned how to, I always thought I was like a great communicator, right? Which I was great at speaking how I was feeling because it came from a family that, like my mom, it would bug the hell out of me. I remember growing up and Mom always had to sit there and talk to me and tell me why I was getting a spanking. Well, Matthew, I need to explain to you why you're in trouble now.
And that's why when we get in discussions, I automatically go ahead and take a seat at the kitchen table because we're going to be here for a while. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Well, okay. Yeah, it's true. But so the thing was that I come from a family of communicators or talkers, right? Because communication is so much deeper than just talking.
Yeah.
So I had no problem telling you or anybody how I felt, what was on my mind, and saying, hey, what's wrong with you? Let's talk about it, kind of that thing. But I learned that communication was more about hearing and listening than it was about talking. And so for me, one of the things that I learned going to therapy was or marriage counseling was that, I wasn't such a great listener. And so, I wanted to make it work. Obviously, I loved you very much and everything. So I started working on the things that I needed to work on. And she did the same thing. And I think that's what it was too. I saw that you were trying and I was like, okay, well, if you're trying, then I'm going to try. because if it's one-sided, if one person's trying, the other one person's not doing anything, well, it's kind of hard for you to continue to do that if the other one person's not trying. But so one of the things, and so that was my background, and then Jessica's background, like we touched on last week, like you come from, and if you hear snoring or weird grunting in the background.
Chloe's right underneath me, and she's passed out. We went to the park yesterday, and she got a lot of runs in, so she's tired.
Any of you have that old grandma or grandpa that sits around the house and falls asleep in the recliner chair and snores really loud? That's my dog, our dog, Chloe.
I have to wear earplugs when I sleep at night because she's such a loud snorer.
Yeah. So what was I talking about? What was I saying? So with communication, one of the things that we did, so
background is, so Matt, his upbringing, they talked about everything all the time. Whereas my upbringing, there wasn't a lot of talking and it was passive aggressive. So I did not develop those skills. And so it wasn't until I got married at age 35 that I had to just like work on skills of like expressing my thoughts, my needs, how I feel, and not bury that and let it, blow up down the road.
Yeah.
So that was challenging for me to do that. Just simple of like, you know what? I don't like that you said that or did this, and this is why. Just saying that was a challenge for me. So that's something that was an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
For us.
And then I also had to learn too that that I had to react, my reaction, I had to create a safe place where she felt that she could talk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because things would happen over and over and over again, like we'd have the same problem, and that would just get me more upset. Like, I can't believe we're still dealing with this. And I would blow up and I'd get really mad and I'd start yelling or whatnot. And so that just didn't make her feel like she could talk to me, because she was like, well, I can't share anything with you because you're going to blow up and get mad, and start yelling. And that was also tied to her upbringing and everything too, which we don't need to go into that right now. But for me, the important thing is that I had to learn, to be like, okay, I hear you, you're saying something, maybe it's not right, or maybe it is right, but either way it hurts my feelings or it makes me upset or whatever. And I had to keep myself in check, and not, if I wanted us to be able to communicate, I had to not blow up or raise my voice too loud or whatnot.
Because it goes to, it's called flooding. So that's what happens to me. If someone starts yelling, it goes one ear out the other. I'm not even like listening to what you're saying.
Yeah. So that was something on my end I had to learn. So we wanted to share with you guys a little thing that we came up with that actually helped. It actually helped a lot.
It did.
With us. So what I came up with was, I was like, hey, look. And the reason why I came up with this was because Jessica, it has, her whole upbringing was sports, and a big thing was basketball. She did basketball in school, middle school. When did you start? Elementary? Or middle?
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade. So elementary. Elementary, middle, high school, college. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to come up with this analogy that says that if you have something that you need to talk about that's difficult to talk about, then the code phrase was, hey, let's play catch.
Yeah, because that way it just like, it lets your significant other know, like, okay, this is going to be hard, or just work with me. Like, I'm going to fumble, I might pass it to you, but it's going to go way over there. And that way they're ready and they're just like, okay, so at least when you do that, you pass the ball, at least you're starting that communication, right? Instead of just holding on the ball and nothing happens, nothing's moving forward. And
I think when we first started too, we actually had something that we would toss back and forth to each other. I'm not sure, or maybe we didn't.
I don't remember that.
No, we didn't. That was an idea that I had, but we never did it.
Oh yeah.
So, but it was like, hey, I want to play catch. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you say it, and then like, okay, boom, like I have it. I'm like, okay, now I have the ball. Now I have to think of not throwing it back, right, to hit you in the head with it. You have to play catch. You want to throw it in a way.
You gotta do the granny toss.
Yeah. So we did that for a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. And then after you do these things, like this, they start to come naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the one thing we wanted to share because, I know maybe some of you married couples that are watching this now, or you don't even have to be married, if you're your partnership or longtime boyfriend, girlfriend, communication is a major thing. And so we're just sharing what worked for us to get us out of this. And maybe hopefully you can learn something from it too. So,
and two, it's something like communicate. It's always something you have to work on, right? Like we're continuing to work on it. I'm by no means are we any experts at this.
No, I'm really big on communication and I would always stress it, because remember I would always say the only way humans in this world can get along is through what? Communication. It involves everything.
Yeah.
You have to, if you're a great communicator, you can be a great business owner, you can be a great leader, you can be a great girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, you can be a great coach, you can be a great follower, you can be a great friend, you can be a great mom, dad, son, daughter, you can be a great business owner, and you can be an amazing salesperson. Anything, if you're a great communicator, communication is key to everything that we do in our life. Everything. Body, verbal, nonverbal communication. Also, because our body language, that's a lot of things that we had to work on too. Just if you can work on that, I think you could everything else in your life really. You want to talk about the resting bitch face?
The RBF face.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, I have it. I do. When I'm concentrating, it comes out.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. It's just how I am.
Yeah. And so what did you do? Like, even with your patients at the hospital, you started doing?
So because I do ultrasound for a living and we cannot give results, patients usually will stare at you and look at any little movement in an eyebrow or anything to get an idea of what's going on, if there's something wrong with them. And sometimes if I do start seeing something on a patient, I will always tell them, hey, just a heads up, when I'm concentrating my face, I have this look. Sometimes the resting bitch face does come out and they usually laugh. So yeah. I just don't want them to be alarmed.
And that wasn't that a really big hurdle in our relationship when?
Well, I think too, you would read me wrong. Like you would think like I'm upset. It's like, it's just the way I am. Okay. It's the way I am.
No, but it would. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Well, I also, because this is what I would say. Jessica concentrating is the same as Jessica, I want to kill you and cut you up into little pieces. That face, that's the same face. So I can never tell the difference.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just like, and I would be like, well, you have a resting bitch face. There's nothing wrong with it. Just own it. And then she would deny it for the longest time. No, I don't. And then finally, what did I say? I was like, just own it. When you own it, then you have the power over it. Nobody can tell you anything. And then, and then so she finally was just like, you know what? I do have a resting bitch face, and it is what it is. Yeah. And then since then,
I'm not hurting anyone.
Exactly. It's never been a problem. So yeah. So I don't know how long this has been, but do you want to share?
Well, I have to head to work here.
Well, let's share the last 10 here. So last week we talked about, where did it go? Last week we talked about, we shared 10 things to do while you're on. So now we're going to share 10 more. And then we'll wrap it up.
Well, I can't scroll, but I can read a couple of them. I think my computer's frozen. Okay. Learn calligraphy.
Wait, where are you? Oh, you're 15. On 15. Here, I'll start at 12. Because we didn't do this. So, So number 1, put together the most attractive charcuterie board possible, but you can only use foods you already have in your fridge and cupboard. You want to tell them about that charcuterie board you put together for Thanksgiving?
It was off the chain. For Thanksgiving, yeah. had a little bit of everything. We went to that specialty because it was our first time hosting Thanksgiving this year. And so I just went on Pinterest and found a little picture.
It was a spread. It was a cheese board.
It was.
I was calling up editors from the Cheese Board Society, seeing if
Chronicles.
Cheese Board Chronicles, see if she could get published.
That
really.
was so funny.
Not really. I would always like tease her that was going to happen. So can you see 13?
Yeah. Take note from Tangled Star. Oh, see, it just logged out.
Oh, okay. So take note from Tangled star Rapunzel, who has an entire song about how she spent her days alone in a castle. Activities include in her ditty, ventriloquy, candle making, paper mache, and adding a new painting to her gallery. Oh yeah, I should start painting.
Canvas. I want to get the coloring books for adults.
Oh yeah.
I really want that.
You're not talking about adult coloring books, are you? Okay, can you see any more or no?
It's weird. My computer just went back on. Okay. Write actual letters to family and friends. After that, write thank you notes to service people who you remember went out of their way for you.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just think too, when you go to the grocery store, the pharmacy, like anyone that's working, just say thank you because, they're out there, either they're keeping us fed, people working at restaurants for takeout. Like that's, thank you goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Let's see. Learn calligraphy. YouTube can help. Oh, you know what? My ex-sister-in-law was really good with calligraphy. And your mom has amazing handwriting.
That's what Catholic schools will do to you.
Yeah.
My mom has really beautiful writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually think I think she actually did our wedding invitations.
She did.
The addresses.
Yeah, she did.
She did a really good job.
Okay.
Finally read the rules to those long and intense board games I can't scroll down.
You've never played with the family. Encourage the family to play.
Actually, we're going to try to do a virtual game night.
Oh yeah,
Thursday.
with the whole family. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. Put on soap opera, mute the sound, and create your own dialogue.
Spray and pray. Spray and pray. Stay inside, move side to side. Stay inside, move side. You guys, I watched
Work the
this video.
thighs and sanitize. Work the thighs and sanitize.
I just downloaded the TikTok app and we found this video where this guy's like in this he's ripped in this crop top and these little short shorts. He's like trying to be a Southern woman and being like, Corona, we're not scared of you. Look at all these sanitizers.
I got 19 ways to kill you.
I got 19 ways to kill you.
It's hilarious. We'll try and put the link below.
Oh my God.
Okay. Have a space in your home where all of the Tupperware goes. Organize it and actually match lids to containers.
Yeah, that's what I want to be doing.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Lame.
Okay, next.
Welcome to Lameville. Why would you skip that one?
I don't know because I didn't read it first. Okay, try on all your. Hold on a second.
Matt, if I catch you wearing my clothes when I come home from work, we're gonna have some conversations.
You're gonna be like, babe, I have to play ball. No, try on all your clothes and determine whether they spark joy a la Marie Kondo. I don't know what that means. A la Marie Kondo. Somebody knows what that means? 20, we got two more. Better yet, go through this process with your junk drawer and supply shelves. If I knew what a la Marie Kondo was. Oh wait, determine whether they spark joy. Oh, okay. 21, have a roommate meeting about how to be more considerate of one another, especially while you will likely be spending more time together. Bring baked goods. How can I be more considerate? I don't know.
I think one of those things should be dance party. We had a dance party last night.
Yeah.
In the kitchen. It was fun.
Yeah.
80s. Top 80s
Yeah,
hits.
top 80s hits. That was good. All right, last one. Oh, bake those goods. Bring baked goods. Bake those goods. Baking. We've been baking. Well, you've been baking. Cookies. Damn
Cookies and
cookies.
brownies.
This is
Get
not.
in my belly.
We never, ever have like junk food sweets in the house. But now
Yeah.
she's been baking cookies like almost every day.
Yeah.
This is not good. Not good.
We'll be rolling into.
They're vegan.
We'll be rolling into. I forgot what month it is. May.
April. It's April 1st.
Yeah.
A
month of this.
Be coming out of quarantine. I'll gain back the 13 pounds I lost.
Come on, you all know you're baking at home. You know it.
It was like that meme you sent me of Cookie Monster, where he's like, it's like me on quarantine. Okay. Alrighty. Well, hey, it was great. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll do another one here in a week or so. Oh yeah, we are next Wednesday. We're gonna have on my business coach and his wife, and we're gonna be talking about some things there. So that'll be pretty cool. We'll have some guests, and they're gonna be hanging out with us during this hour, talking about some stuff. So
cool. You guys stay safe.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to y'all later. Let me shut this thing down here.